Arsenal grab very, very needed 3 points away at Tottenham, and Mbappe's positioning is trending again. Welcome back to another episode of Ball IQ Podcast. I see you laugh when I said that, Nelson, but I'm Tolu Real Madrid fan, if you don't tell already. And
Nelson, Chelsea fan. It's just champagne problems, really, at the end of the day. You're vexing about, but I understand. I understand.
yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I think I sent you a clip earlier. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about. But anyway.
Yeah.
We'll start with our IQ deep dive, which is on the North London Derby, Spurs hosting Arsenal. Spurs under um, new reigns. Igor Tudor, the former Juventus coach, is the guy within in the dugout for them. Now, I think we've done a couple of IQ deep dives that include Spurs now. I feel like we've done them against City, against Arsenal. Um, and for some reason, when they go back to this back three with Archie Gray or whoever right back and Jet Spence or Udogie or whoever at left wing back, when they switch to this formation in big games, it never works for them. Thomas Frank did it over and over and over again. It did not work. You go to the first game, it does it again. Did not work. They played Bissouma was meant to be side by side with Pape Matassa, but it was more him holding by himself. Pape Matassa and Conor Gallagher were in front of him, and Xavi Simons was in that inside left channel trying to receive the ball and trying to feed Kolo Muani, right?
Mhm.
The issue is number one, because they're playing like deep in the back. Same thing I said against City. When Arsenal press them, they have no outlets because everybody is there's limited options to pass out. So because Arsenal will press up, Rice and Zubimendi will hold press up. So it's like a box of two center backs and two center mids, then the front six. If you don't have enough bodies in the midfield, if you're Spurs, there's there's literally nobody to pass to, and you don't have the kind of number nine that you'd launch the ball to hold up or anything like that. But I don't know why they keep doing this. Another thing that was dangerous for them is this on the left hand side. So Spence is a pretty good defender, right? And it was against
Mhm.
up against Saka. I think. I fancy Jet Spence's chances against Bukayo because he's fast, he's wiry, he can hold his own. But because the Xavi Simons was on that left hand side, that overlap from Julian Timber, there was no answer for it. Sometimes for the first goal, was it first goal? Yeah, the first goal that Eze scores, it was actually Papi Matasala went to track Saka. I don't think that was his assignment, but he was unfortunate, lost the battle. Ricochet went through to Saka and Saka crossed it in. But for the second goal, for example, Julian Timber just had so much space because Xavi Simons wasn't closing him down. So he could just play the ball in. Um, Eze's run as a 10 was very helpful. It goes back to what we say about like him playing as a 10 for Arsenal unlocks everything. And Gyökeres can take a touch and bang, right, and score. The first goal was obviously, like I said, Saka ricochet went through from the right off Spurs left. The third goal as well, in transition, again, because Spurs don't have bodies in the middle. When they won the ball, um, I think it was Pape Matar that was behind the ball. It was like receiving the ball behind play, and Eze comes in behind, steals the ball, and immediately he steals the ball. Saka goes in, uh, shot comes off, and Eze is there to finish. I think it was just the fourth goal that Odegaard came on and put in Gyökeres in to score. Everything else came from that left because Xavi Simons is on that side and he's not going to do defensive work. So. it was pretty. They made it easy for Arsenal. I don't say that to undermine Arsenal's performance, but like I've said multiple times on this pod, we've addressed it multiple times under Thomas Frank. When they go into big games and switch to a back three, it never works out. In Spurs against City, when they went back to they took out Romero, I think was that in that case, and brought in an extra midfielder and went to back four. They came back from 2-0 down. When they played Arsenal in the reverse fixture, Arsenal mauled them in the first half. They brought in Richarlison. There was some live. And they brought in Richarlison and Xavi Simons in that game, I remember. So I don't know why
Mhm.
they keep doing that, but clearly hasn't worked once this season from the Super Cup all the way now. But anyway, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is obviously a massive game for both clubs. There's pride on the line, obviously. It's a derby. But it was a very important result for Arsenal. It's kind of frustrating to watch teams kind of play into their hand um, time after time. I say that as a team who did that in the first leg of our Carabao Cup matchup against them. And that's kind of what we saw from Spurs. I mean, if anybody who's been watching the tape on how they play and wants to sort of negate what they're good at and also highlight their weaknesses, would have been very happy to see the way they lined up. And it just kind of seemed as if it played out perfectly in the hands
Yeah.
of Arsenal,
Yeah.
you know, which is a pity, but at the same time, we got some pretty good goals, as they would the brace. And like you said, it was a much needed result. So,
Yeah.
um,
Very much
yeah,
so.
I
Yeah.
wasn't too shocked with the result. I figured it would be probably 3-1-4. They didn't spare them any blushings at all. That's a good shellacking.
Very, very much like
And
BTA.
yeah, and I also think that Spurs has a problem with I mean, even though they spent a good amount of money with new signings and whatnot. They have a problem with their personnel. They're not able to line up the way they need to line up in order to get the result to favor the way that and benefit the way the players that they have play. It's very rare that you see them move cohesively this season, and I think it all obviously just comes down to the buildup of the squad. I think they
Yeah.
have some players that aren't at the level that they need to be. And then they have players who bring something to the position that that team does not need. So it's only a matter of time till we see Javi Simmons, I think, somewhere doing what he is good at, because I don't think he's really able to shine in this system.
Nah, he's not. I think the best system for him to shine is a four in the back, three in the midfield, and he'll be one of the front three. So either coming in from the left and creating like, like many creative midfielders these days that like to play on the left. Like, you know, even Wirtz is struggling for Liverpool playing that position too, but or attacking position too. But I don't know. It's just not. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Like, I think it's easy. I guess it's easy for us to speak from this vantage point, but from this vantage point, it's like, okay, you did this every single big game. It didn't work. I don't do something else.
Yeah. I
Do
have a
something
couple
else.
of Spurs friends, fans, and they've all said that this season, typically Spurs they're not going to win the league. Typically, they have a couple of shock results in them, if not several, but they're usually exciting to watch in some way, shape, or form. At front foot forward, high line, trying to score as much as possible, really asking as many questions as possible, attacking aggressively, at least in recent memory. The last couple of managers have tried that because, I mean, if you go back to Conte, that's not how they're playing. But right now, it's not fun. Every fan that I've talked to, it's not fun to watch Spurs.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, what's going on? Like, as a third party, you're like, this doesn't like it only takes a couple of games for you to be like, what? this is frustrating. This isn't the beautiful game at all. There's problems here. So
Yeah.
I don't know. If they do get relegated, I'd happily, if there's a
Actually,
discount on
what?
any, if there's
Actually,
a
what?
discount on any of the players, I mean, there's a home on the other side of London.
Who'd
That's
you
all I'm
who
trying to say.
who'd you take real quick? Who'd
Who
you
would I
take?
take?
Gallagher back?
Um, Not for two, I we were just discussing his Spurs contract right now. He's on a 5.5 year deal. What I saw reported is around 200,000 pounds a week. He's one of the highest paid players on the team. Um, I mean, I love you, Connor, but not at that's more than Cole. That's more than a lot of the senior members
I
on
say though.
our squad. I believe everybody's still sub 200. So
Hmm.
um, to think, who's theirs? They have the Sar guy. I
Yeah,
like Sar.
Baptista is a good player.
I like Sar. I don't think I wanted. We were so close to signing Javi Simmons, but I think what I've seen, I think we're good. We need reinforcement for a player like Cole Palmer on the pitch, but I don't. We've tried that with flair players in the past, like Joao Felix, and it's just you don't get what you actually want out of a
Yeah,
player like that
I
sometimes
don't
in the
think it's a good
Prem.
fit.
So who else? I think Ramiro's kind of I like the leadership that he brings, but I think he's very tempestuous. Yeah, he's Van de Ven, Mickey Van de Ven I would take.
You know who I would suggest you to take to Mickey Van de Ven with Mickey Van de Ven?
Mhm.
Jet Spence. I think a
That's just
cover
good
for
too.
fullback because you don't have any cover for Kukurea. I mean, Hato
No,
is a young boy. Jet Spence is
it's a good
very
point.
solid defensively. He can play left and right back. So if you have Kukurea, Reese, Jed, and Gusto, I think that would be good. But Mickey Van
Yeah,
de Ven, Mickey Van de Ven for Tosin.
oh my goodness. Another week, another blunder. We just need to, I know he came to us on a free contract, but we need to just terminate, I mean, respectfully, just sever ties because the tape is very damning. Every week, when we lose or concede points, it's typically because somebody, Tosin, is not marking their man in the box. And um, we can talk about it now, the Chelsea match this
Yeah, I mean,
weekend.
perfect
Um,
segue.
yeah, I was watching that game, very excited about the way that we started on the front foot. João Pedro just seems to have a knack for being in the right position. In my opinion, he's probably one of the most exciting strikers right now in the Premier League. He's
Mhm.
playing better than Akatika had a very strong start to the season, but I think right now, in terms of form, João Pedro is really probably the one of the informed strikers in the league. So to see him get his goal early was great. We were in the driver's seat for the most of the game, which is what I predicted going into it. But there's a lot of substitutions that occurred in the second half and a just a lapse of focus towards the last 15 minutes of the game. Fleming, who's their best, who's very, very aggressive in the box and one of their best threats aerially. We knew that was coming. The manager spoke on it as well, but he was unmarked in the box in stoppage time in a 1-0 game. So it's just, and I believe Tosin came on. He was subbed on. Uh, so it's just things like that that are really costing us points. I think I would say in the last three fixtures, we've lost, we've just let 4 points go. And it's going to cost us because I looked at the fixture list. We have Arsenal next week, and there's some pretty tough away fixtures on the horizon. So that fourth place battle is going to be exactly what it is every season, which is a battle. But you know, new contestants this season. We got United and Liverpool, um, and Chelsea all fighting for Champions League places. So
Man, it's interesting because again, like you brought up United and United won again. away at Everton. So Carrick is still unbeaten. Um, Šeško's finish was clean, by the way. Like I think I remember us talking about in the summer, Šeško or Gyökeres, I believe we were talking about having that conversation.
Hmm.
I think Šeško is a better player. I think so. Because like the goal he scored, the layoff, and he was in a foot race with Tarkowski. And you could just, it was like an antelope. He was just gapping in
Yeah.
there. Beautiful finish. I
I
think
think
we mentioned
so.
last time that we're talking, he was talking with Berbatov on his finishing and stuff, and you can just see how much calmer he is in front of goal, a beautiful goal scored. But the point I was going to make was um 3 points away from United now and level on points with Liverpool, and you're playing Arsenal next. And Arsenal have to win. Like like right
Must
now,
win.
I don't they have to win now. How many more games? 10 more games? They have to win 10 out of 10. Because I mean I was looking at City's run of games in the Prem. It's not it's not it's not scary, really. They're
They've been
playing,
here and they've been here before as well.
yeah, they've been
So
here before. Yeah, you're right. It's not scary. They're playing Leeds away, then Forest at home, then West Ham away, then Crystal Palace at home. They do play Chelsea and Arsenal as well.
mm.
So that may be telling, but like apart from those games, if they hit a stride, everybody's in trouble. But what are you gonna say?
Oh, just in regards to Gyökeres and Chesko, I think
Yeah.
I looked it up while you were making that great point. It's just I think, in my opinion, I mean Chesko's a lot more of a malleable player. I think he's 22. He's a little there's a little bit less rigidity in his style of play. Gyökeres is 27. By that time, you're the player that you're going to be. Whereas I think Sesko probably had the humility to look at his game, learn from a player like Berbatov, and obviously is a little bit more agile, in my opinion, as
Yeah.
well. Everybody's
Way
been
more.
making fun of Gyökeres wearing Tims, so
Yeah. Yeah, way
runs
more
with
agile.
jeans.
Way more agile. But yeah, like I mean you did bring up the Arsenal Chelsea game this weekend. That is I would we will be there
We'll be there.
because
We will definitely be there.
that's
That,
it.
that I don't think I think the head to head does not favor us recently. I think the last 3 4 years, Arteta, I don't think Arteta's lost to Chelsea in some time. That's what we have going up against us. But I think the players understand the importance of this game. We did something kind of rare last week with it was like a mid-season holiday that was given to our players. Everybody went to Dubai
Dubai, yeah.
and they came back and
And tie that to Burnley.
drop points to Burnley. So it really is, and some of the things that were happening that are kind of like the theme of the season. Cole Palmer getting subbed out early, looking frustrated. And like I said, Tosin Tail as well as time. These things kind of and also, um, one salient point I want to bring up as well is Wesley Fofana and the disciplinary record of the team this season. We can't, no matter what the manager, we can't manage to keep 11 men on the field. I also want to, speak out against what happened to Fofana. I think he received some
Yes.
discriminatory racial messages and remarks about his style of play and what happened during the game, which is obviously, as we spoke last week, there's no place for it.
Mm-mm.
Um, but one of the other things I'll say in regards to Chelsea is obviously John Obi Mikel
Yeah.
has a podcast, All Things Chelsea, concerned, and one of the things that he was mentioning and kind of harping on this week was how he was kind of romanticizing the
Mariska.
Maresca era. And I watched his show. I know there were moments where Obi Mikel now is talking about, oh, we let go of a top manager. Chelsea's taken 10 steps backwards with the appointment of Liam Rossignol. Like there's something missing from our style of play uh, tactically that wasn't there. And I remember very, very vividly his attitude during the Club World Cup
Mm,
about the tournament. He said he wasn't going to watch it, and just talking about how we were playing under Maresca. It took him some time before
mm,
he bought in.
yeah,
And all I would say to that point is I don't think he's wrong because I think Maresca's a top coach, and I was upset when we things didn't work out.
mm,
But Rome wasn't built in a day, and the problems that were facing the club that were frustrating Maresca are not going to be resolved within uh, 10 or six, or excuse me, 8 matches. I
yeah,
don't even, I think Rosinier's been there for 12 matches. I think it might have been 12 by now, but um, just it's just reactionary
punditry.
press.
Yeah,
Yeah, punditry. Which I get it. You need clicks, you need likes. But just give this lad time.
yeah,
There's problems at the club that everybody can see are apparent. But there's also, there's still time to steady the ship. And Maresca was dropping points to everybody, really weak teams. I think we drew against Karabag in the Champions League. Um, I think I can remember some very famous points being dropped, and just him sitting here, like just doing just stroking the beard and just you know, now and Rosinger can be kind of he's kind of corny, but I feel like he's a fan at the same. He feels what I feel. He's like, I'm not gonna mention names, but somebody should have marked their man. I'm not gonna post it. So,
yeah,
I enjoy it, but I do think that his job, in a way, is on the line as well. Rosinger, we've got like 11, 12 games to go. We have to make the Champions League. We have to make a run in the Champions League. And we'd love the FA Cup or some sort of silverware because it's been too long.
yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure for a new young manager coming to Chelsea like 12 games ago.
Yeah. Mid-season.
Mid-season. It's
No,
insane.
no January signings, no signings at all of note. I think um, we brought in
Marco,
Mamadou, the Senegalese,
defender.
Mamadou Sarr, I want
Sar,
to say.
yeah. Mamadou Sar,
hmm
I think. You had another Sar, another defender.
Yes, he's still in League. I think he might
Yeah.
be at Strasbourg. That is a different Sarr.
Yeah, it's a different
Um,
Sar. Yeah, I remember him because he was on either I think either the right or the left side of a back three usually. On the Tuchel, maybe?
yeah, Malang Sarr.
Yeah, Melanchthon.
Yeah,
Yep. Um,
never really got a chance.
yeah, he did not have a chance at all. He wasn't given a chance.
Mm-mm.
But yeah. Um, well, we'll continue to obviously monitor like per usual every weekend to see what twists and turns happen. Both top two fourth, fifth, sixth, and also obviously the relegation battle between all teams down there. Burnley, Leeds, Nottingham Forest. I felt so bad for them against Liverpool, just trying to hold on and lost the last minute.
Yeah,
It's,
that
it's
club's
football.
cursed this season. It's
Yeah,
cursed. Three clubs or three managers, I think.
managers. Yeah, yeah. Three managers. Nuno,
Oh,
Ange. Wait, wasn't Ange there this season?
yeah,
Yes.
mate.
And is this guy still there? Daishi is gone.
Sean Dyche's
So
gone as
this is
well.
their
All
fourth
three.
manager.
Correct.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts.
That's nuts. That's
I'll
nuts.
take what that Morgan
Gibbs White.
Rogers lad. Gives away, not Rogers. Gives away.
Yeah, gives
I'll
up.
take
Or
if there's
Ola, is a very
Ola.
good.
Please come
Again,
home.
same thing I was saying about Jet Spence, left back, right back,
Yeah, it's the
better.
injuries for Olaina, but I'd love to have him back.
Yeah, back home. But anyway, let's go to Spain real quick. I think it was 2 weeks ago I was telling you about like some away grounds in Spain that I just have the heebie-jeebies when we go there. Wherever I can, I said Valencia. I forgot to add Osasuna. I think we
Osasuna.
I think we have a decent record against them, but like there's some teams that when we play away, the atmosphere is just you can just feel like, this is gonna be one of them games. And I was watching that game, I'm like, this is gonna be one of them games. It's just gonna be one of them games. And then they score first. It was a very, very, very generous penalty. But VAR, you slow anything down, it looks like a contact. I'll say this, if Real Madrid had awarded that penalty all over social media, I'll say that. But
Marca.
um, they still take the lead. And then we equalize, Vinny equalizes. Vinny again from the bus when he came down from the bus. They've been booing him since the bus all the
Of
way down.
course.
So who did he provoke then, right? But he scored, tied it up, and Vinny, he will always pop his stuff. So like
Mhm.
doing the I'm still that guy kind of thing. But and then this guy Raul Garcia for them comes in and scored. Like we messed up, we turned the ball over in a bad way, but the way he sacked down Asensio to score the goal, like if you check it out, like it's one of those like easy. You didn't even have to feint the dummy that, but he just cut back and Asensio just slid through, and it was a nice finish to win it for them. But the trending topic out of that game was Mbappe's positioning. There are a couple clips, I think I sent you one that encompasses all of them, where Vinny is telling him like make the run in. And there are a couple times where Vinny will go on byline, Kamavinga will go on the byline and play the ball in where a number nine would be, and he wasn't there. Again, we know it's not number nine, but at what point a season and a half has a player of that caliber not learned how to be there at least, even though it's not his game naturally? But I mean, at one point, I don't understand. Like Vinny was telling him like go in. Then for Vinny's goal, Valverde wins the ball in transition, goes on the byline on the left. Vinny makes the run that Mbappe should have been making. And one of those, those striker runs where you run into the box, a square low cross, and you just slide tap it in,
I do.
slide in. And then after he scores it, they pan to him after he celebrated. He's telling Mbappe like keep going. Did Mbappe do? Nope. If you check his heat map, I can get this heat map and I put it here. But like, if you check his heat map, just on the left again. I don't understand. Um, when there's a low block, he just runs away from the box. And again, we can say all we like that it's not his game, it's not his game. But like at some point, it's actually irresponsible for you not to
Right.
like at least even do it with a frown. You know what I mean? Like, do it with a frown. Like, we are not balanced where you're on the pitch, and you want to be on the pitch, and you want to win. Do something different. But I don't know. But I see it's
Yeah.
trending again. Finally, people are seeing what we've been saying on this pod for a while about Mbappe's positioning. But we're playing Benfica tomorrow at time of recording. We'll see. Um, his position in that game and see how it helps us. Barca won their game, so they're back on top of La Liga. We gave away our
That
our
was
our
quick.
lead. What you say?
I said that was quick.
Yeah, that was very quick, right? But they're only up a point though. So if they slip up, any slip up and we win, we'll go back up. And we're
Yeah.
playing them again, even though it's in camp now. So we'll see how it goes. And really quick stopping by at Italy. Inter is kind of running away with it now. They're 10 points ahead now. It's just like unless something really, 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 really bad goes on. They got knocked out of the Champions League today. Inter.
Yeah, I was actually pulling that up. I saw some fact about how, I mean, Italy in just Italy as a country in terms of their football. I mean, Champions League, no joy. Okay, Inter Milan has been there twice, but they haven't come close to winning the Champions League. I think in since 2010, since Jose.
Yes.
Um, World Cup team is in tatters. They haven't made the World Cup. The only shining light is obviously that Euros that they won, but in terms of the current state of Italian football as it compares to other leagues, it is exciting, but the return on investment is lacking.
It's very, very lacking. And yeah, it's embarrassing to go out the way they did to Bodo Glimt, losing home and away. Bodo
Mhm.
Glimt, let me tell you all their competitive games this year.
Yeah.
You saw it, right? The
Yeah, I
first,
think they stopped in November.
yeah, their first competitive game of the year was against City. They won 3-1. The next game was 8 days later against Atletico Madrid. They won 2-1 away. The next game was against Inter at home. They won 3-1. And after that, Inter win. They won 2-1. So they've beaten City, Inter, Atletico Madrid, Inter twice, and Atletico Madrid in their four games in 2026. The only games that they
Not bad.
not bad at
Didn't
all.
didn't Holland play for Bodo Glimt?
I don't know.
Check. I feel like there's some major player who like
That played there.
started.
But I do like that. What's his
I'm
name?
wrong. My bad, I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. What's his name? The number 10 guy. What's his name? Hog? I don't know. I'm messing his name up, but number 10, his name is Jens Horg.
Jens
Yeah,
Petter Holm.
yeah. Like he's a very, very, very good player. Very good player. I'm sure somebody's watching him for sure. Um, somebody's watching him for sure. Because he's a great talent, and the striker too is very good. But yeah, that's Champions League. Atletico Madrid did their business as well. They beat Brugge, Club Brugge,
Mhm.
to go forward, and Newcastle swept Karabag. They did their business away anyway, so it was just a formality. And Leverkusen tied Olympiacos, so Leverkusen go on aggregate. Tomorrow it is, Madrid, Benfica. The number 25 of Benfica is not playing tomorrow. He's been suspended pending investigation based on the last game. PSG Monaco is another good game. It was a good first leg. We'll see how the second leg goes. Juventus Galatasaray is also good. So much more football to come. But yeah, anything before we go to goal of the week, player of the week?
No, I
No.
think we covered all things Chelsea, so I can sleep.
You can see. Goals of the week. The two goals that really stood out to me were the Gyökeres first goal against Spurs, the touch outside the
Mm,
box and blast, and the Raul Garcia goal against Madrid, as it hurts me to say, just because of
yeah.
the the movement to beat the offside trap on the left, fake shot, Asensio sweeps past and he finishes to win for Osasuna against
At
Madrid.
and at the time, was it a stoppage time goal?
It was like 80, almost
80.
close to 90. I can get the
Mm,
time. But it was very, very close to 90, if not stoppage time, actually. But
mm.
those are the two goals that really like stuck out that I remember. I did like Šeško's goal because of the build up to the goal. But those two mainly were the ones that really caught my eye. I don't know if you have anything else you want to throw into the ring. Any other goal?
Mm, no, No, I mean, nothing that really. Oh, I don't know if you saw the Kennedy goal. Obviously, we're not going to use it's a different league. So Kennedy is a former Chelsea
Yeah, I
player.
know
He's
Kennedy.
playing.
He
He
plays in
scored an
Brazil.
absolute yeah, played a scored a Puskas level goal today.
Oh
I
wow.
think it's today. Yeah, excuse me, it might have been yesterday. Um, I'll send you the clip. But obviously, it's like from half field.
Easy
Um,
win. Easy win.
yeah, yeah, just yeah. He caught the goalie napping. He beat his man, and then it was like, why not?
You know what?
Um,
Anything to not give Raul Garcia a hug. Because I was going to say, like, Gyökeres, yes, it was a good strike, good touch, good finish. But it was against Spurs, who are like, what, 16, 17.
yeah,
I was going to lean Garcia, Slane, Real Madrid, but if you say Kennedy scores a banger, we go Kennedy. And anybody's, for our viewers, if you see anyone, any other goal that you would like to throw in, please leave a comment for us so we can check it out. Player of the week, is going to go Gyökeres again. O'Reilly scored 2 goals for City. Harry Kane did what Harry Kane does. Um, I was leaning Gyökeres again. If you think of anybody else, let me know. But I was leaning Gyökeres because I feel like, yes, Spurs is not in the table. It's not a top six team, obviously, on the table, but it is a big game for Arsenal. And
yeah.
he was active. And I felt like they actually played for him. They played
Mhm.
him in more time than as I've seen, I'd say.
I think a conscious decision was made this week to get him involved and make sure that they see dividends on the player that they purchased. Because
Yeah.
before he came there, he was. I mean, what was that celebration? He was nuts. There you go. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Um,
O'Reilly did well though. O'Reilly did do well for City, excuse me, but not London Derby, shining in that kind of game. As it did
yeah.
play well to score 2 goals.
Mm,
Eze is so interesting because he had only scored um in 3 or 4 games, and 2 of them were against Spurs. I think in 3 games. It's no more than 4 games that he has scored for Arsenal,
mm.
but he has scored. I think he has scored
Popular goals.
7 goals, and five of them were in Spurs in 2 games. Crazy stat.
Jeez.
Crazy stat. But I was gonna give it to Gyökeres because Gyökeres did well. But so congrats, Gyökeres. Player of the week. Upcoming fixture, like we mentioned, Arsenal, Chelsea, a lot rides on that. It feels like a final. Arsenal needs to win to stay up top. Chelsea needs to win to get close to United, because I need to check who United's playing. I think they're playing Crystal Palace or something, and Crystal Palace is
Mm,
better on the phone. So and United are at home. So if that will put a lot of pressure on Chelsea to get a result. So.
yeah, it's away to the Emirates too. Yeah, it's a tough game. The Man United's playing Old Trafford or excuse me, Man United's playing Palace at Old Trafford.
At Old Trafford, okay.
Yeah,
And are they playing on the same? I think they're playing on the same day, no? Yeah, they're playing. So
yeah,
United is playing right before the Arsenal Chelsea game. So a
yeah.
little spice to it.
It'll be a good Sunday morning.
Great Sunday morning for us in the US East Coast.
Yes.
And that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. What are you gonna leave in with?
Like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully next week, um, London is blue. I'm hoping.
We'll see. We'll see. If
It always is because that's where trophies are won. But it's been a while. It's been a while, so I don't want to let myself get too far ahead.
it's not been
Stay
that long a
humble.
while. Last year you won the Club World Cup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just don't. If you show joy before the game, then they get emboldened and they say things like "stay humble" or "try harder," stuff like that. And I don't want to create an environment for that. So
Okay. I'll say this though. If London turns blue on Sunday, the Premier League will be on fire every weekend
Yeah,
because Arsenal will
it'll
be
be a
there.
must watch.
It will be a must watch every weekend. But
Sir.
all right, man. Thank you all for listening. Catch you guys on the next one.
Peace. Oh yeah,
All
logo.
right, peace.